And welcome back to Late Night Gunpla with Town Omega. We are continuing on with the Master Grade Katoki version RX 78-2, an older kit, 2002 kit. So, it's. I say it looks like a scaled up high grade. It does, but at the same time, it's growing on me. Now that I have a bit more of it complete, here you go, I get to see a bit more of what he actually looks like, and so he's growing on me. Yeah, oh wow. Maybe I can. Nah, I don't want to bring down the whole thing, but anyway. So yeah, it's kind of a fun kit. So again, he's kind of growing on me. I've got the shoulders, skirt, torso, and the backpack and head kind of completed now. So the idea today is start working on the arms. I hope and I believe I can get both arms done, but we'll have to see how long each of them takes, how long I talk right now. Wow, that froze on me again. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if it's my cable or my USB kind of plug is going out there. Okay, yeah, that one's working. I wasn't sure it was. So, yeah, that's where I am right now. So, gonna plan to start on the shoulders or on the arms and see where we are there. Probably next week, do the legs on, well, next week, first day, the legs, and then the second day, depending on how long that takes, start working on the core fighter and the weapon systems. So, why not? Without further ado, let's start in on this. So, let's go overhead view, just because I don't know why. Is that still frozen, or is that okay? It's showing something, but anyway, yeah. Look, starting overhead, and usually my timer is 15 minutes, but a couple of weeks ago it started only recording. It stopped recording at the 12-minute mark, so I'm starting to do that now. 12 minutes. And we'll see how that plays out for me. All right. So polycap A. In polycaps, I kind of cheat a bit and just kind of roll it between my fingers to get it loose. Alright, B20 and 22. Get our frames. 20. Alright, so. Near the B's here. G, D, G, F, D, B, 25. So, alright. So, let's get that out the way now. And it's a couple steps ahead. So that's B. Wait, come on. C, stand up. E. Alright. And F3. F. That's G. F. Yeah. Okay. G. So this is a bit of what got me in trouble last weekend. Kind of started cutting ahead, but we'll see how that works out this time. 3, and then C, C12 and 15. And 15. skirt up. Alright, C15. C12. No, I already got 12. D28. Polycap K. K. No, that's not K. Oops. Alright, well. Put that over there. But H. Okay, there it goes. Cap K. And D. Are you D28? There it goes. One for each side of the arm. Okay. D28. Okay. So that's it for right now. Yeah, let's stop there for right now as far as cutting and start working in on this. Alright, you go. So let me see. I want to see what it actually does need to do. Okay, yeah. All this doesn't look like there's going to be seam line, so what I'm going to do with this one is at least cut it on an edge, on an angle, so that I can kind of connect them and then cut them. This one definitely can cut it there. All right. These are ones where we should probably be doing a bit more of the kind of sanding sponges again, because this doesn't actually start off straight, and so just kind of, yeah. Let's go with 800. Start with 800. Let's see how that works out. That just means it's going to take a little longer though. A little more to actually get it 100% even and smooth. And I mean, again, this is one of those things where I get caught up on doing that, but it doesn't really need all this extra work. I'm getting caught up on trying to make sure it's straight, and even, but it doesn't need to be. So this one. This one seems like so that one could work like that. Let's see how. Don't actually need to be squeezing that hard. I'm feeling my fingers start to hurt from squeezing it, so kind of got to remind myself I don't actually need to hold it that hard. Let's see. I just buff this now. What will that look like? That part doesn't really matter either. Again, another kind of slightly beveled piece, so should make it easier to kind of file that off. Get away with following this one this way. I'm gonna go a little over. My alarm's kind of going off already, but just gonna get this done. What sounds like a bad idea? Sorry, Jeff, I didn't see you kind of come in. Been a little too focused on this part, but forgot what I was talking about. That would have you say that was a bad idea. Alright, goes. So is that stopped? Yeah. Just kind of rotate you a bit. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's one of those like when I don't think about it, I feel like I need to really hold on to it really hard, and then it's like I just kind of feel like my joints kind of getting even tighter and hurting. So it's kind of that warning as well as like, hey, start loosening up. So, but again, it's one of those that is like I have to tell myself, is like, hey, loosen up. You don't have to squeeze that tight. I don't know what it is about that, but I need to hear myself say it or something. Alright, so yeah, this part is, so it says right, so yeah, this arm, this part's going to go in here like that. So, and this one can go in, I don't think it matters, yeah, so. It says there's much difference between front and back, so pretty much like this. That, and then these two. This one looks like it does matter, so it looks like the square part here goes to the front. I mean, it does, but I mean, this is one of those just kind of, as you get older too, it's like you actually feel it more as you're squeezing too much. Like, not quite arthritis, but I think it is just more like the muscle memory or muscle practice. You know, I think I need to maybe see about getting like one of those hand squeezers, especially if, and like I was mentioning yesterday, I was thinking of getting into the guitar since I fixed that other guitar that I have that I was able to pick up. So, you know, kind of need to kind of practice with my hand to kind of do the, at least like doing the finger exercises and not squeezing that too much either. That one? Yeah. So I saw some of your posts of the photos, Jeff. How's your photo editing going? Looks like you did have a little fun with that ring light, though. Yet another hobby that could be one of those, like, maybe get back into it, but probably not. I mean, yeah, the idea of the lights are kind of fun. It's just a lot of extra work. You know how I am about work. Since this part is kind of rounded over, but it's not actually up against that other part. I'm gonna go ahead and trim that now. This does go, so I will stick it together first, and then see about that part. So this is okay. Yeah, I see. It kind of is keyed. That's what that's for. And then you. Okay. Bottom here. Okay, there it goes. Alright, and then square part front. Alright. Yeah, I mean, I was talking about that yesterday. Again, with the guitar, the kind of idea of it, and how I often repeat it. to my clients that, you know, sucking at something is the first step to getting kind of good at something. But I have a hard time following my own advice about that one. I mean, that's just in general. That's kind of all of us too. We can easily give the advice, but following advice takes time and practice. So, a bit of why I try to repeat things to myself here too. Thank you, Kozi-chan. Thank you for the raid. Appreciate it. First raid, I think actually, this is my first time getting. Hey, Kozi-chan, thanks for raiding. Thanks for joining. You know, just a kind of slow, well, you know, small time builder, kind of trying to get through my backlog that keeps growing every time Bandai puts out a new kit that I want. So, you know, the backlog never ends. But thank you for the raid. Anyone comes with him, you know, thanks for kind of coming along too. Hope you can stick around a while and listen to me rant when I rant. Yeah, I'm kind of working my way through the RX-78-2 Master Grade Katoki version, or Ka as it says on the box. You know, I've been going through, as the name says, through the grades. So I built originally the entry grade, the high grade, and the 2 real grades, version 1 and 2. And so now, kind of working my way. I don't know why I'm actually bothering with this, because it's a hidden part. It gets hidden by this. So let's just get that out the way now. Hey, come on. No, you go in here. There it goes. And you go in here. It's one of these things I gotta remind myself, like, stop doing extra work. Oh, what? Why aren't you rotating? Ah, you rotate this way only, huh? Alright. So, looks like you will turn this way then, most likely. So the elbow does not hyperextend. Alright. So let's go on to the next lower part, the forearm of this one. So polycap J. Here goes. Yeah. So J, any other polycaps? N. Cap N. N. There we go. Nice. Just a straight build, or are you gonna be doing any panel lining, decals, painting with it? You know, generally with these, again, just trying to get through my backlog. So basically just doing straight build. Every once in a while, I might decide to do kind of extra stuff with it. I built a Zaku 1 and I repainted it to the Federation colors a couple of months back. Is that up on the VODs? Yes. It should be up on my YouTube page. The whole kind of step by step of working through it, the weekly work on it, weekly, daily work. When I streamed it. So PC, polycap O as well. All right. O. O. J. N. And so I need G and D. So D. Okay, nice. Yeah, just before I kind of went back to this one, I was building the a Megami device. Which one was it? The Scout. And because it came with kind of extra pieces, D15, there it goes. I, really got into the 30-minute sister kits because I kind of bastardized that one a bit and borrowed parts to kind of make the rest of those. Give two of them, basically gave the two heads bodies. So I have the, yeah, the stickers are great. The stickers, good idea. G, C, D, F, G. Goes G, 3 and 4. Up here, you guys. So if I remember correctly, looking at it, okay, yeah, I don't need to worry too much. G11, might as well get that now. So trim that off now. There's 2 more minutes left on there. And yeah, I'll come back to the hand. That's all G's. Alright, so G goes back over there. Yeah, so with this one, again, I'll definitely be doing the panel lining. With this one, I've been practicing a bit of my scribing. So hopefully, well, I know I've already kind of screwed up a couple pieces on it. And as I was talking with my friend earlier, kind of working through the idea of, not being too scared and acknowledging that, as Jake put on Adventure Time, and sucking at something is the first step to getting kind of good at something. So kind of trying to remind myself to continue practicing and be willing to make mistakes, which is kind of the hardest kind of lesson to do there. And at least for me, and I mean, it's what I tell my clients as well. There it is. That's the other one. That's like, yeah, you got to build our self-awareness. And so I kind of try to also catch myself while I'm building these, which is part of the idea here as well. Kind of force myself to work through, build the backlog, but then also push myself to practice. Nice. Yeah, again, the bit of perfectionism. I have a lot of extra stuff on here, kind of behind the kind of stand. I've got the Gundam markers and Gundam panel liners. So, I've been using those for a while. I actually did like the panel liners, the pour type, because just it flowed so much smoother than the standard one. Oh man, 25. What am I talking about? I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I've got 17 that I can look at right now. 18, because the perfect grade is right behind me as well. So 25, I mean, it's a lot, but as I joke sometimes, those are rookie numbers. You gotta get those numbers up. Again, yeah, that's just 25 here that I have visible. 19, 20, 21. Yeah. And that's not counting what's in a closet. Alright, it's time to pause the overhead camera. So yeah, let me see, what is it that I have here? Alright, so over the shoulder. So yeah, see, I've got a couple of the Gundam markers there. So yeah, the pour type I really liked more than the, where'd it go? than the kind of fine tip one. But so yeah, I like the port type a lot better. And kind of way back in preparation, I had also picked up a 0.3 lead pencil that I heard kind of does fit into the panel lining, but I think I got the wrong hardness of lead, so I don't think it leaves a good enough impression inside it. So kind of haven't done that. Yeah, and a whole bunch of Gundam markers back there. Yeah, a whole bunch of different Gundam markers. Yeah, don't get me started on that. Actually, no. You know what? I don't have too much paint. I have the airbrush, but again, haven't used it as much. Pretty much used to use it just to kind of do the poor man's kind of gloss with the pledge, and then I had my first child 7 years ago, almost 8 years ago now. And so I stopped doing the airbrushing because I didn't want that in the air when not, even though I would airbrush outside. And never really got back to it. But I think as far as paint, I only had like maybe 10 jars of it. And I would only buy like, the small Tamiya jars. Oh, yes, that stuff. You mean this stuff? Yeah, that was, I was actually watching a video about that apparently it's more of a stress thing. So yeah, I have this stuff. I have the black and the gray. I also put in, there it goes. Yeah, I have little kind of BBs that I have stuck in there. And yes, recently heard about that it's because of the pressure fitting that adds a stress, and there's something about whatever they use in it really kind of softens up the plastic even more so, and it causes it to crack. That happened to me when I was building the, what is that called, the crossbone. Where do I have my pictures about that? Let me see. Do I actually have those pictures? Let me see. About that. Come on. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I was building that one, and then the shouldn't be in there. Yeah, no, not there. So yeah, I generally was panel lining after I built them, and so then yeah, when I kind of put that stuff in there, it just cracked some of the kind of front parts of the kind of crossbow gun that it has. Where is that? Where's my folder? Okay, come on. What do I have? Folder. Mazinger. Is it this one? Yeah. Nope, not that one. Where is that? Should be this one. There it goes. Not that one. Come on. Taking too long. There it goes. Alright, so yeah, this one, These little bits down here, some of them cracked when I panel lined them, so it was rather annoying to do that, but it was one of those weird things that happens with it. So yeah, I was watching a YouTube video about it recently that says like it seems to happen more often after you kind of put them together. So kind of their recommendation was kind of like you said, you know, do it on the runner, do it before you put them in, which is I guess the lesson that I need to take. Let's get back to that. Start that. Let's get you on this side instead. Yeah, I'm still trying to do it up here so that the overhead camera records it, and so I'll have it for, you know, a kind of complete build video that I haven't done any for since which one was the last one that I posted? I think the last one I was working on was the crossbone, kind of re-editing the video together. Why does this camera, I don't know, I think something's going on with that USB plug-in, or like, yeah, that USB plug on the back of the computer, because it seems to freeze up like that a lot. I'm not sure what that's about. Which is annoying because I like the idea of that angle, but it just kind of keeps doing that, so I don't know. How much longer I'll actually use it. Although I think part of that was also that we had a bit of a power outage yesterday. I haven't power cycled my computer. I do have it on a battery, backup battery, but some of the extra peripherals aren't on that backup because again, they don't really need to be powered when power goes out. Conserve that battery. Let's try this. Just so that it keeps more, again, doing panel lining. So, a couple of videos talking about how that helps kind of actually define the panel line a little better. So I've been trying to do that with some of those. What am I doing with that one? Buff. Now this one. see. Alright, so let's see. Side. Right, there. So you go this way. Come on. There it goes. Alright. So you go that way. Okay. Alright. There it goes. So yeah, power line's gonna be a little easier to see there, but a little more kind of trying to find a little more here. Ooh, trying to avoid that. But all right. Okay. So square goes in there. Right, there it goes. All right. So now the hand, these. All right. I was mentioning this yesterday as well, that, you know, this hand is an older kit, and on these older ones, they used to delineate the kind of differences, or at least I would, between the grades with how the hands are. So, you know, master grade, it's, you know, give you the hands pretty much as one whole piece. 1919. And 17. So it's basically 4 parts, well, 3 fingers. Yeah, 3 finger parts, and you know and then the perfect grades would have just kind of full finger kind of movement. D2 and D4. There it goes. 2. Alright, close. Quite you. Yeah, I mean, I've pretty much built exclusively master grades. I've built a couple high grades. One of the first high grades I built was kind of by accident, but it was the actual Psycho Zaku, or no, the Psycho Gundam. Yes, there is a distinction between the Psycho Zaku and the Psycho Gundam. I gotta remind myself of that, especially now, after which one was that? Not Unicorn. Why am I thinking Unicorn? Thunderbolt. We know they have the Psycho Zaku. But yeah, I mean, I have kind of similar idea there. That it's like, you know, especially for me, like my hands, like when I tried to do the real grades, like my fingers just felt too kind of clumsy for it, really. And so, you know, it felt really difficult with kind of getting that done. And so, yeah, very similar idea. The perfect grades were pretty good for me. don't think I'm going to be doing much more with this. Just the hands are a pain enough to do. Too many fiddly little details. So again, like that, I'm going to just do kind of goes. I mean, there is perfect grade, which is nice bigger size, and now there's the mega sizes ones now. Although, I mean, all right. So scale wise, yes, there's also for that size scale like the Re 100, which is basically what the Psycho Gundam is. It's high grade kit at master grade size, which is what led me to buy that one. It's the size was, hey, it's the right size for master grade. Let me get that. I was like, wait, there's something wrong here. Why does it say HG on the box? But it was one of my earliest kits built. Well, not the earliest, but it was one of the earlier ones. When did I build that one? Which one was that? It was maybe my 5th kit. So I know first kit was new, followed by Zazabi, followed by Dom. And that has a story as well. I had I bought the new, and then I saw that there was a kit of light up heads. Well, thanks for having rated Cozy-chan, and viewer that came with him. Thank you guys for kind of jumping on. Jernhand, thank you for being on. Feel free to kind of stay on and lurk. I will actually, you know what? Let me add you while I'm at it right now. Let me follow you now. Thanks for the follow as well, Cozy-chan. Again, thank you for the raid. Thanks for having been on and for the chat. I always enjoy that part because sometimes I just kind of lapse into quiet. Alright, so I'll kind of go to your site and go to your page after my stream and kind of look at it. But again, thanks for the follow, and you're followed as well. Let's get some water too while we're at it. Yeah, what was the next ones? Rick Diaz. So yeah, it might have been the 5th kit, actually. And then Zeta Gundam. What else do I have up there? Do I have... Where did my pictures go? Okay, now you've got me trying to think of what I'll have. Alright, so Don with Diaz. Yeah, did I do Psycho before I did the Camphor? Yeah, Dom, Diaz. It's been so long, I don't remember. I mean, I've been building for Jesus, 25 years now, actually. No. Well, I don't know if you're still on Cozy, but here's kind of what some of my build is. Why does that keep doing that? Why don't you refresh? Chat, why don't you stay on? Let me not do that. Let me see. Oh wow, all the chat disappears. Alright, well, anyway. Again, thanks for having been on, and hope to see you at some point, and feel free to kind of jump on and see me when you finish. Alright, let's get back to it. Wow. This is just one hand. An hour. Alright, well. Pretty good clip to kind of have the other arm completed. Are we recording? Yeah, okay. Get paranoid now. Alright, so side. Yeah, alright. See where that hand. Wait, where'd you go? There it goes. How did I miss that? Hang on. Yeah, the 3 fingers. Hey, come on. Why am I having so much trouble with this right now? So, yeah, there we go. And put you in. All right. Wee. Come on. Wow, that's a really tight fit. But DCA. B. 123. Anything else? B25, that's right. I'm gonna have to do that. That one's try to round that out. I'm kind of going back and forth. I probably should clean the glass file soon. After the next kind of hydration break, or at the next hydration break, I mean, should see about doing that. Let's go 800 again here. Let's go 400 again on this one. Yeah. Let's go 400 again. I'm gonna just these two, and then file and buff. Or not buff, not file, but kind of just buff it. Yeah. More. I'm just gonna jump ahead and do this part. You know, I have the razor and I have the DSPA. I felt the razor was kind of smoother and left a kind of better better finish. The DSPA I felt kind of left it a little more rough. So that's why I've kind of stuck to the razor. I wound up actually buying a second set because I got the one that came with the kind of buffing sheet and like the kind of denim kind of cloth. And again, I bought a second one because when I moved to where I currently am, I couldn't find it. Thought I'd lost it, so I just picked up another one. And then pretty much as it came in, I found the other one. I found the original one. So now I've got two kits, or two sets of it. But yeah, I kind of like it a bit more. Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like, the sharp edges would scuff up, it felt like. Where is, actually, no, I have it. Where is that one? Because, like, I know, thought I had it here, but I guess not. Yeah, that was kind of the thing. It's like it felt like that pretty much. So yeah, that was very similar feeling. And so yeah, I feel the razor is a little better at that. Don't feel like I have too many of those overs. Although when I do, it's kind of the warning sign for me that I've been lazy and I probably need to give it a clean if it does that. There's my alarm going, saying that it's time to pause. So, as I've mentioned it, I wanted to take time to clean this. Where did I leave that one? Because I know I had made it part of my travel kit. I forgot what I had taken to kind of practice work on. And I know I put it in there. Wait. Sorry about that. Right up here. No. Okay. Thought I had it up here somewhere, but yeah, probably in a kit somewhere that I'd taken to kind of work on somewhere and just kind of left it there. But yeah, similar experience, and so I kind of felt the razor is a little smoother, a little better in that sense. Alright, so what else do I need? Okay, F3. Alright, hydration. Excuse me. Yeah, where's the box? Ah, there's the box. Let's see if this one doesn't keep crashing on me. So yeah, I have the kind of big kit that comes with the balancer, which, as you see, I've kind of ruined it. but comes with kind of the little denim block square. So, but yeah, I mean, as far as the balancer, I found kind of a there's one YouTuber that I don't quite follow, but I've watched a lot of his videos, and he put me onto kind of a set of like 20 nail buffers, and so pretty much just started cutting them to be a good kind of wieldy size. So that helps with the buffing part that the balancer doesn't have. At the same time, I used to, and sometimes still do, use one of these buffing kind of triangles from Daiso. Really good kind of kit and good place to get just kind of random stuff. No, yeah, so yeah, it's another kind of one where I'd cut it, but I think I made it too big, so the second set made it a little smaller and it felt a little better and more controllable. I thought I had another square somewhere. Should be somewhere in here. I really need to pick up this desk. It's messy. Alright. It is, you know, for a while I'm very much a kind of MacGyver builder, kind of Gunpla kind of builder, and so, you know, I would sometimes just wander through it. Oh, there's that. Yeah, so yeah, similar. I just kind of wander through there and just kind of let's start you back up again while I'm talking. Let's see, hopefully you don't freeze up too much. And just says like, ooh, that could work for this, that could work for this. All right, and here we go. $20 later. So I mean, as far as the another thing with the razor that I recently started doing, that again, another YouTuber, I don't even remember which one, but like I was just kind of watching a random YouTube and kind of used to just go one direction, and kind of they made a half criticism, half joke about that, and he says like, yeah, it doesn't really matter if you kind of saw back and forth on it, doesn't really do much. Started experimenting a couple weeks ago, and yeah, still turns out pretty well, so not that big a deal. You know, the problem is, I don't know if you guys can see. Come on. There it goes. Yeah, all right. I can kind of see it there. That little dot in the middle. It's not a stress mark, but it is a cooling mark from plastic. You know, that's the part where the sprue attaches, and so the plastic cools at a different rate, and it just makes it a little darker. Again, it's also a piece that no one sees. It's in here, so okay, actually it does get seen. Well, whatever. Could be one of those that if you decide you can paint it, but if you paint it, yeah, just make sure you do these raised parts because you don't want to actually paint on the inside part. Ask me how I know. Experience. Well, no, don't ask me, but yeah, experience kind of does that. Alright, so F. There we go. Here's F. Alright. Like, it's not a bad thing when you paint it, but you want to make sure you want to try to take some of it off afterwards, because then it kind of makes the joint too tight, and you could wind up actually breaking the peg, which then requires quite a bit of extra surgery, fiddly surgery. 28, 15. Those. I mean, I should probably just leave this one out. I'll stick you over here, because I'll grab you later, because I need you for the hands. And then C. C. Yeah, so these guys. Where's PCK? Okay. Okay. Yeah, alright, so that's it for that right now. Wait. There it goes. Should have done an affiliate link. No. But yeah, I mean, it's you can probably just get the glass file again, because you can get the either that big pile of kind of buffing sticks or the kind of buffing triangle from Daiso, and it kind of does the same effect as that. So, you know, if you did, again, I hope you just picked up the file. And again, you know, after that YouTuber kind of mentioned, doesn't matter if you saw back and forth, and yeah, seeing that it doesn't really make too big a difference. For a while, it was pretty much just filing in one direction. Like the only kind of, I keep slipping there. There goes. Sometimes I personally have trouble feeling that it gets straight, and so it feels like it's kind of filing at a bit of an angle, and so sometimes it feels like it's messing up the bevel or something when I do that. And J. There goes. Yeah. This is for another part. Later. There it goes. Goes there. So sometimes though, to get the curves, I do still kind of try to follow the curve and just do in one direction. So it's got the notches, line up the notches, line up the squares, and make sure that part's up. Alright, so you, this way. My headphones are about to go out, but that's okay. Yeah, I got other headphones I can use, but I may have to pause my music for a bit. So again, here is one of those examples where I sometimes feel like I can't quite get it straight enough. I mean, also I know I'm not actually. Remember, well, yeah, no. And again, like this is where I got cut up last time, and it's one of those parts that doesn't matter because ultimately it gets covered with this. So yeah, let's kind of work through this. Get these guys. And now again, this one at least has it on the bevel, so goes. Yeah, has a bevel and a curve, so kind of use it along the curve. This one. Yeah, so I'll probably pause that when. Yeah, this doesn't matter which side. Yeah, doesn't matter which side is front. Alright, but you. Wait. There it goes. Alright. So, angle it down. Alright. Let's pause that there. Well, 20 seconds. Yeah, no. I'll just pause that one there. Alright, let's go. Pause my music. Turn you off. I have to remember to charge it over the week. Yes, it's just like you. Impromptu headphones. There it goes. There it goes. Now these, wow, I hear my voice in my head so much louder with these. It's kind of weird. But yeah. All right, so hydration as well. Let's have a sweet drink first. The drink for flavor, and the drink for hydration. I don't have the drink for energy because, well, technically it is green tea. So maybe it is a bit of both. Alright, so Cap O and J I've already got. Alright. Oh, that did stop recording, yes. Alright. Okay. Alright, so what else do we have here? Alright, well, let's get back to it. Start recording there. And we've got polycaps O and N. O and N. And polycaps, I always cheat and just kind of roll them out. Again, the sign of an older kit still has polycaps. Apparently the newer kits don't use polycaps. So G6, G5, G11. So you're getting the razor. Do you have your god hands already? And which kind do you have? Like these? Or no, the red ones, or do you have the blue ones? I've got both. Kind of liking the red ones a little more, even though they are a bit smaller. I feel like they're more for a smaller hand, but there's just something about it that felt a little better for me. Let's see. H 13. Where the left? 7. 7 and 27. 27. Then A4. Yeah, same. Well, actually, these clippers, well, I'll show right now, which was A4. These are from a Bandai G Gundam, like kind of straight build kit, or kind of little build kit. That's a. No. Oh, that's right. That's D over here. 16. There it goes. So yeah, I was gonna say, it came with the little kit, came with the nippers and the a kind of rubbing stick to kind of do it. And so yeah, it was an official Gundam set. So it's got the two dragons on it, official Bandai kit. So yeah. All right. I feel I might have cut that one a little too much. Yes, they are still single blade, and they are also kind of offset blade, which is kind of the thing on both of them. I don't know, there's just started using it, and again, even though it's a smaller nipper, I don't know, I got no problem with it really. Oops. This way. Why am I having so much trouble getting that in? Alright, there goes. That one's easier to get on the other side if I remember from the last one. So yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, it's a little stubbier, and so let's go side one so you can see a little more. So yeah, it's got a little more stubbier hand, whereas the blue ones have a little more point, and it's a little shorter, and I mean, definitely kind of shorter handle too. Yeah, there's just something about it that I liked a little more. Maybe I should go back to trying the bigger ones. Oh, that's right. I was starting to use the wrong side. That's why it wasn't looking right. And use scriber again. Sure that it goes in, that panel lining Kind of goes in a little better. So I don't know if you were here for the discussion earlier. Had a raid and we were talking about panel lining and the Tamiya panel liner, and how apparently one of the things with it is, don't do it once it's built. There's something about the pressure that kind of keeps the Gundam together. Is what leads to the cracking with the Tamiya panel liner. So either kind of do it when it's in this stage before the pressure, and then once it's dry, then you kind of stick it together. Or what your panel lining kind of approach is. Mine is usually using the pore type Gundam marker, Gundam panel liner marker actually. Ah, okay. Goes. Pause. I mean, yeah, I haven't done airbrush recently. Actually, no, I did. Where did it go? Did that get on here? No. What was that? So yeah, this was the last airbrush kit that I kind of did. And that was actually using the Gundam marker airbrush kit. So let's go this one. Yeah, really, you're crashing now. But yeah, like the airbrush kit. What do I have available? Let's see. Yeah, I think this one still hasn't been used. Yeah. So kind of just goes in there. You got to get it the right handle, but then pretty much it sprays on there. And yeah. So yeah, I did that to do the majority of the Zaku one. beyond that, I haven't really done airbrushing much recently. I used to. What kit did I have for that? Let me see. Well, okay, where'd that go? What is that name? What is the name of that one? What is your name? What is that one? To show off. Yeah. Oh, not that one. There it goes. Yeah, that was a kit I mainly airbrushed and did kind of the reverse wash for the chest emblem part and the collar on it. Yeah, I kind of also retrofitted it to have the LED eye. But yeah, that was painted, and there it goes. Now I remember the name. The Tryon 3. So this was done. So it says 2017 was when this was last painted, and then this is 2022. Yeah, I stopped painting. I mentioned earlier because my first daughter was born, and I didn't want all that stuff kind of floating around in the air, even though I would be doing most of the painting after hours, after she'd be asleep. But still, I overabundance of caution. Then I also did this one kind of airbrushed. Oh, wait, oh, went the wrong way. Yeah, didn't do too well on that little bit right there. But overall, I'm happy. I got third place of 3 in a competition. But yeah, now I do have a kind of airbrush booth that can kind of fit on this space. And I can have a way to kind of set up the camera to be recording again. I did that for that Zaku 1 sniper. And I need to get around to finish a picture of the camera setup. No, I don't. Anyway, but yeah, that was the airbrushing. Yeah, kind of need to get around to doing that again. That's the idea of finding some kits where we'll do that with. Especially now they're a little older. Got the airbrush booth has a vent that'll vent it outside, and then pretty much just leave the door closed. Do it on the weekends, so overnight leave the window open, let it air out. So yeah, that's kind of the hope and idea. All right, let's get back to this on the home stretch. It seems like. So yeah, and again, they're a little older. They're on the other side of the house now, so not as big a worry anymore. But yeah, now with the airbrushing, it's more the issue of, I hate calling it laziness. With my clients, I remind them that there is no such thing as laziness. There is always a reason why we don't do something. And so, alright, the idea of reframing, as I tell with them, is I don't want to deal with the extra effort. I'm trying not to judge myself for that one too much either. Yeah, it's too much other stuff to do and too much stuff that needs to be done to do it. And so it's just the cost benefit analysis. There's a reframe to use. The cost benefit analysis isn't quite worth it for me. So I mean, just something to kind of keep in mind, Germ. That's kind of be the thing. It does look good, and so again, it's, if you can justify it to yourself that way, it's like, yeah, it's gonna look great. It's gonna kind of fulfill me in that way. Great. But I mean, for me, it's like, okay, I have to set up again, at least here is, all right, I've got to set up the airbrush booth. I've got to mix my paints and get the consistency right. I've got to plan out what's going to be painted in what order. So it's like, it's a lot of effort. And then again, admitting it to myself is, it's the fear of messing up, that I don't want it to look bad when I do it, because then it's wasted kit, wasted effort, wasted money, time. Again, the cost benefit analysis in my head kind of says, not necessarily it's not worth it, but again, it's too much trouble. It's just easier. So that'll be the thing to think about, as I was saying, when you're trying to do all that painting and stuff. And I mean, granted, I've also only used the bottom of the barrel master brand airbrushes. Haven't got any of the good galleries or anything else. $25 airbrushes, but I mean, that's the kits that I've showed off. Yeah, I mean, that again, that's what I've been using. Actually, so all right, well, I'll show it at the break. Well, yeah, it's probably a good enough place to break right now. Soon, let me get this part, because again, at least the Zaku Sniper, when I did it. Hello, Indigo Wendigo. Thanks for joining. coming on just as I'm about to finish and stop. I usually end my streams at 11, but thanks for having come on and join. I mean, yeah, I mean, to tinker practice with, it's great. And again, try not to maybe start with those rinky-dink ones, cheap ones, because again, it's like you can always kind of like jump up and get a good one. I haven't gotten to that point. Again, it's a bit of the I don't think I'm good enough to justify the purchase of a good airbrush, which really is kind of, again, one of those kind of self-talk things. And I convince myself that I am worth it, that it is worth it. Like, that's where it is. This is the basic build done, or at least so the arm. Alright. Well, cool. Figured I would be done with at least the arms today. I don't know why they're having, again, extra kits here, or extra hands for this one. For the left one. Because like I know later when I was looking at the instructions for the weapon systems, it was recommending kind of other hands. So I don't know why it's saying only with the left hand start kind of building this one. But again, yeah. Start with the little master one to at least practice. And while the joke is, you know, a bad builder blames his tools, with that airbrush sometimes you can say it's like, yeah, it's a rinky-dink airbrush, so, you know, not expecting it to do great things. But again, the R2 that I showed off earlier was done with a rinky-dink $28 kit. Again, the Sinanju head that I showed also kind of was painted using that rinky-dink airbrush. So I mean, it's not horrible. I'm not gonna bother with that one too much. Goes in like that. Oh, okay. So it's just a closed fist is what it is. Alright. Just in time to finish. Nice. Good. Alright. Pause that one. So I said I was going to show off what I did last time. Wait. So yeah, I actually had bought this kind of mini compressor, handheld compressor, and it came with this one. So this is the one. Actually, no, I haven't used this airbrush, but I used again the compressor. No, again, the quick snap is new. And again, another thing you might want to look into, Germ Hand. But yeah, basically, I did this. Come on. And you know, so I use this again for the Zaku 1 sniper, using this with Gundam markers, and yeah, pretty much just doing this. Kind of quiet, doesn't make too much noise. Well, actually, yeah, that's a little too big actually with the quick connect. That off. So yeah, this is what it kind of looks like. Again, kind of just put together, basic. And so yeah, use this to paint that. And again, it comes with this one. This kit was, what was it? I'd have to look again, but I think it was maybe $70. I kind of joked that it was like that was during one of my more money than sense moments. And so I wound up buying that little compressor. I do have a bigger compressor, more standard size kind of air compressor, but that's in the garage behind too many things. So that's why I wound up buying this little handheld one. And again, it puts out a pretty good amount, pretty good 15 psi, at least 15 to 20, which is pretty much what you need for airbrushing. Yeah, 25 is for most basic colors. 15, I remember, was for more if you're doing the airbrushing. Wait. Quick connect made it fly. Alright, so I think, yeah, 10:55, 5 more minutes, so a little. Thank you, Master Build. Thanks for joining. You know, follow gains a follow as well. But yeah, thanks for joining. Sorry you kind of came in just pretty much at the end of my stream. I finished up building the arms of the Master Grade Katoki version, RX-78-1, as most of the internet calls it, Grandpa. So yeah, again, this is an older kit, so just looking at it straight built like this right now, it feels very much Master Grade size high grade. That's kind of what I've been kind of calling it. It's very simple, and again, it's a 2002 kit, so to be expected, I guess, if you put it that way. Let's kind of start doing some cleanup for these last couple of minutes. But so yeah, it feels very kind of simple kit. Especially now, after having built the Real Grade 2.0, which again feels like high grade size master grades. This feels like a master grade size high grade. But I mean, that's part of why I chose it. It seemed like a small, easier build, cheaper as well. Because I was kind of stuck between doing this one or getting the version 3.0, which had just come out. And again, cheaper. I went with this one. So that's what I've got so far. Yeah, I mean, the compressor thing, sorry, Master Build, going back to Germ's Hand. Yeah, the compressor thing is really good. It kind of did about the 2 hour builds that the streams that I was doing, and kind of worked through most of it. So it's a good little thing. And again, I think it was like $80. Let's see, back and see my purchase history. Come on. Why do you close things on me? I think this might have been last year. This is, oh, wait, no, don't do that. 2024, last year. Okay, not 24. 23? Really? 2 years ago. Oh wow, yeah, I was on a airbrush preparation stream then. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, apparently that one isn't really available anymore. But, okay. So, it looks like 40 to 60 bucks is kind of a standard right now. There's some cheaper than that. So, it can be a bit of that plan. But, yeah. So, yes, got this done. So, next week, I generally stream Saturdays and Sundays. So, I don't know. Next Saturday, have an event with the family in the morning, so should be back in time to stream. So yeah, usually stream Saturdays and Sundays, 9 to 11. So yeah, next week I will start in on the legs next. I've got the hips done. Just from the detail work, it looks like it might be one leg a day, so maybe Saturday and Sunday doing the legs for this one, and then do following week the core fighter and weapons, and then start doing the panel lining and decals after that. So yeah, that's where we are right now. Again, Master Build, thanks for joining. Koza-chan earlier, thank you for having rated and kind of followed as well. Germhand and Indigo, thanks you guys for having been on and chatting with me. I always appreciate having people chat with, because otherwise I know I just lapse into silence and just focus mode while I'm building. So thank you guys for having commented along. Why did my camera... Alright, fine. Yeah, we'll go here. Anyway, so again, thank you guys for having been on, and hopefully I will see you guys next Saturday. Thanks again. See you guys then. Bye.